Is the table dirty in your shot?
No, but it would be.
Let me go grab something because I see spot coffee stains. Watch your hands there. Perfect. Thank you.
So, do you want me to look at all the cameras? Or do you want me to look at?
It's just Gatorade. Blue ice. Gatorade.
Almost ignore him. Like, I think with people, okay, but as far as that, like any conversation, keep it.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, you're. Oops. I don't know why I did. Just to make more trouble. That's what that is. Yep, it flipped. Hopefully it'll just.
You're good. You're good. We got color. You're rolling on your camera.
So that's the main one there. So when you and I are talking to each other, just look back at those three dots in the camera, and then that's our audience.
Sounds
technically.
Good. Sounds good.
We're already recording in Riverside.
Yep.
We're live in Riverside, so.
Now that you're seated, I gotta get these all set.
Okay. Okay, so let's just go. Craig, you and I can go through a little bit of this. Welcome to the Pulse. Oop, nope, microphone just fell down inside my belly. Okay.
That happened to me yesterday. Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, son of a.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike, just so you know, this one's gonna be, I got it as close as I can. It's gonna be like the off center of this one.
Yeah.
And then that one, I'm gonna, as you're doing your main talk, I'll have you, and then when he's talking,
I'll do my intro here to this one.
Yeah.
Then I'll cut to him, go back to main.
So whenever he's talking, I'll move that one to him,
Okay.
and then you talk. So just give me a cue as far as to who's what.
He's on that one.
It's both.
Okay.
It's this one.
Yeah.
But off to the side.
Yep.
Same.
Yep.
Same stuff.
Okay. All right. So for episode 1, we're anchored in Colorado Springs with someone who lives in the intersection of membership, business, confidence, and execution every single day. Craig Carley, Vice President of Membership, Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC, today is helping us interpret what early 2026 is really going to be about and what it's signaling for chambers. Blah, blah, blah. Craig, this isn't a podcast. It's a peer conversation, which I'll just sort of riff off of. Let's start with seeing what's hitting the ground. In one sentence each, what are the 3 signals that you're looking at? And you said, so the amicus brief, rising professionals needs to be changed.
Yes, let's change that to leadership development for early to mid-career professionals.
Okay. I don't know if I have editing privileges.
I can say that.
You can say that, right? Okay, so I'll just say rising professionals is, what is it? Leadership development?
Leadership
Okay,
development. Yep.
I'll just say leadership development, and you go with it and fly from there. Innovations, Pike to Peak, new initiatives, and you'll speak about each one of these.
Okay.
And then if we have extra, whatever, what does this tell other chambers? What that tells other chambers. So these three things that you guys are working on, what does that tell other chambers in your district, in your area, right? You guys are kind of leading the way, especially with the amicus brief. I think that's one of the biggest thing that just landed. That is, from the standpoint of what chambers are doing, you guys are stepping out in a different position against what the state has done in order to make both a statement about what that situation is, but also where you stand with it, right? Which is what, rather than fight the government with litigiously speaking, let's put our energy in areas where we can develop and continue to move forward, rather than raising a flag and then putting other targets, so to speak, I suppose, on your backs.
Absolutely. And really what that's about is,
We're not live, so
okay,
you're
perfect.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what that's about is mostly just making sure that we're not taking a stand against the federal government, as it's their decision to make.
Yes.
And when we weren't even brought to the table with the state anyway on how we felt about the matter, but being able to continue to.
Does that feel very
work with
telling?
companies. In a way. Yes.
Okay.
In a way,
To not
yes.
be invited.
Yes.
You may not want to touch on that.
No, we can touch on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We
I
can-
love it. No, but
Yeah.
that's other chambers are going through similar things where they may not be invited to the table and have a
Right.
discussion, but the economic impact of that for their community still is valid and very real. So how then do they participate in a conversation where they weren't invited to the table? This very practice, an amicus brief, is one way of saying, if you're not going to invite us, we're going to make a statement.
Right. And that's really one of the reasons why we launched the Southern Colorado Business Alliance.
Okay.
With other chambers here in Southern Colorado, to create a unified voice of Southern Colorado to get at the table at what's happening at the state level.
Nice. Okay.
So we can touch on that.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then the three things we're looking at here after you've touched on these really quickly is we're going to go into prompt 2, which is leadership, workforce confidence. That speaks to the innovation you're doing with the rising professionals, but also in the other leadership, how it says, how are leadership confidence and workforce pressure showing up in conversations with members?
Perfect. And that actually leads into Innovate Pikes Peak too.
Okay, great.
So, yep.
Because there's other initiatives that are being done as well. The space CAC, whatever,
yep,
CADIC,
I can
you know.
talk to that.
Yep. So there's other things that are impacting this community, and then of course the development of Pepsi.
Coca-Cola.
Sorry.
Yep. Smart Coca-Cola. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Coca-Cola. So we can touch on that there too, and sort of workforce development. AI curiosity. We'll mention the work that the chamber's doing, but also Jonathan Liebert from
Yeah, I'd love to talk
BBB
about that.
and what Brandon's doing at the EDC, SBDC. Because there's so much overlap there, but there's so much great AI stuff that's
Right.
coming, and we are bringing some more AI to the platform as well with our strategic partnerships.
Right, and I can touch on that too. Because I think there's 4 major partners with AI right now. You being one of them, Brandon Aldridge, Jonathan Liebert, and Audrey Kirshner with Inkymon.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
those
yeah.
are the people that are really taking
I need to talk to
AI to the
Audrey.
next level.
Okay. And then 4th, which is local signal for other chambers. If you could flag one local signal for other chambers, should be paying attention to this early in the year, what would that be? And then what we can do is, because we'll fix everything in post, we can take a pause, catch up on the question, and then and start from there. And then we'll just splice and transition in.
I'd like to talk about CXN Online. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do that where do you want to put that? Towards the end, after we've sort of touched base with the post?
For other chambers.
Cool.
I think
That's a great one.
to
Yeah.
lead into it on how we need to be connecting.
Yeah.
One of the best ways to do that is online.
Yep.
And
that is it for that segment.
Okay.
And the other ones I'm pulling in quotes and captures from Brandon and Jonathan, just to sort of round that out. And then the rest is on me.
Awesome. Are they coming in today too?
No, I was so sick coming off the holidays that flu. I'm still recovering from it. I was in bed for 2 weeks going into January.
Oh, geez.
So it made me behind. Then the last week that I was still in bed and couldn't fly out until the 10th, my stepsister, unfortunately, was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and it's moved to her liver, her lungs, her lymph nodes, and all over her colon. So we've been scrambling the last 10 days
So sorry.
in and out of hospitals. She's getting her PICC line put in, and she starts chemo next week. So it's been a scramble
Yeah,
from an emotional and psychological standpoint.
absolutely.
And I'm still just trying to stay on point with all the things I've committed to with this.
Yeah.
And right now it's just a 2-man show.
Right.
If we had enough revenue coming in, so many other things could be happening.
Right.
But bandwidth,
It's gonna come. It is gonna come.
Plus, I'm working for Matt, so at Vox AI, this project manager.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
He's-
that's covering
He's
my.
another one that-
Yeah, he's the other one that, and he's our strategic partner in AI that's working with me in this new promo that we're doing with Zinc AI.
Awesome.
So that'll be coming up too.
He's doing. Oh no, I
Okay.
actually, yeah. He's doing our chatbot.
Yeah.
Which he's
Yeah.
excited about.
Well, I'm overseeing the project.
I know,
So,
that's awesome.
like, I'll be overseeing the project. I'll be on this meeting. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in so you can get moving on with your day. Just hit record and then we'll splice and cut where I need to. I'll clap in places where I screw up and just hit edit. I can just make a sound. You'll see it on the audio
You want
thing.
me to do that if I mess up?
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, if that helps you. If I say something wrong.
All right, we got audio. Camera 1.
No one can do.
And I'm looking at you, not the cameras, correct?
You start looking at that where we're gonna start. We'll come off camera. We'll start as if we just told each other a
Okay.
joke, and then we'll lean back and go into the program.
When I'm answering though, do you want me to look at the camera or look at you?
Either one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take your lead. If you look away from me, I'll look back at the camera too.
Okay, cool.
I can play
Okay.
this game.
That being said, this one and this one are both wide. They're gonna capture the cut back and forth. This one I'm gonna have to go back and forth on you. So
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to like
You do
don't say
whatever.
one word, then I get over, then you stop.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
yeah, talking to keep going.
Got it.
All right. So A/B audio.
Okay, so just lean in and whatever. We're just telling a joke. So, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CXN The Pulse. This is the Chamber Exchange Network's Main Street Brief. It's just to get your feeling and a finger on the pulse of what's happening in the Chamber community today. This is our first episode, and joining me today is Craig Carley, the Vice President of Membership at the Chamber of Commerce and EDC. This is where we translate what's changing right now, policy leadership, workforce development, and AI, into what actually matters for you, the Chamber member, and your chambers around the country, hopefully soon, right? This is what matters to us, and this is why we do this for you every single month on The Pulse. So for episode 1, as I said, we're anchored here in Colorado Springs with someone who lives at the intersection of membership, business confidence, of course, execution every day. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Carley.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
One of the things that, we'll just briefly touch on how you and I connected over bringing the Chamber Exchange Network to this community, and then, of course, broader across the country. Talk to me a little bit about, in your role as Vice President of Membership, what are some of the things you enjoy about being the Vice President of Membership here in Colorado Springs specifically, but also as that role in Chamber membership?
Absolutely. So, one of the things I enjoy the most is really connecting with these businesses and providing them a platform where they can share the great work that they're doing within our region. And, ultimately being connected with you, that really, I think, skyrocketed it in what we can do with Chamber Exchange Network and giving these members an online voice and how they can connect with additional chambers across the nation. Not only does that platform come from our region and allow them to connect with local professionals, but now they can connect with professionals across the nation.
Yes.
So bringing those benefits is what I really enjoy most about these roles, on ways that we can support these business owners and their businesses so they can continue to grow and they can flourish. And, partnering with you has been very exciting about that.
Well, one of the things you and I think two of our favorite words is collaboration and impact. And I think the other one's innovation. So if you put all those three things together, we saw an opportunity with this platform to do something it hasn't been done before, that's not out there, which is connecting members with one another across chambers, across counties, across borders, across lines, so that you can create greater impact and do business with one another. And this, of course, is a way for us to discover what's possible. We don't have all the answers, but we're darn determined to figure them out. And
Sure
we're gonna be leaning on you guys to help us along the way. So feel free to jump into chat, throw us messages on Chamber Exchange Network, and if you have any comments or you have anything you'd like to add to the Pulse, our monthly newsletter, just let us know. Okay, moving on. We have 3 different things we're going to talk about today when we're looking at the Main Street signals, like what's happening on Main Street. We're going to cover a few areas, right? Leadership and workforce development, AI curiosity, and then signals, local signals for the chambers. So in one sentence, if you'll share with us what the 3 signals you're seeing locally right now.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, we had our amicus brief last week where our chamber leadership and local leaders stood together. Additionally, we have what we're doing for young and rising professionals within Colorado Springs, and then also the launch of Innovate Pikes Peak. We launched that late into 2025. So we're excited to bring that into 2026 and discuss that a little bit more as well.
Awesome. One of the things that this amicus brief you mentioned, this is something new to me, mind you. I'm not a big person in policy and legal. In fact, I'm a new member of the chamber, and I've never really worked with the chamber industry previously in the past. Interesting stories there. But I was fascinated that the choice that the chamber made to post, did you post the amicus brief? What do you do with it? Does it go up online somewhere, or is it something you have to submit?
We submitted it. It let us know that we do not necessarily agree with the state's decision. Amicus means that we're a friend of the court, and we wanted to give our opinion on the matter.
So what was this decision?
Yeah, so our decision, our attorney general filed a lawsuit against President Trump for removing Space Command out of Colorado Springs. And while we were very sad to see Space Command go, nobody wanted to see Space Command leave Colorado Springs. It wasn't our decision to make, and it's the federal government's. So we decided to file an amicus brief and state that while we don't agree with the decision, we're not against it, and we'll support it as it was their decision to make, and we'll work on ways that we can better ourselves to eventually continue to bring businesses here and get these opportunities in the future.
One of the things that I thought was interesting in the amicus brief, because I read it and I don't remember it all, but I will tell you that it's the language you were using in the amicus brief to talk about collaboratively moving forward without this negative energy. Like, we recognize that the Space Center and all of the things that that's brought is a federally provided set of services and instruments or industry. They can move it wherever they want in the country, and we can be supportive of that also from Colorado Springs. But in addition to being supportive of that initiative, there are other initiatives that you guys see in the future that can bring business workforce development to our community, where we don't have to spend our energy on something that's just not going to happen.
Absolutely. And I mean, we are still the hub for these types of businesses.
Yes.
And Colorado Springs is the premier place for that. And we don't want to lose out opportunities for a decision that wasn't ours to make.
Yeah.
And we want to partner with those initiatives and show that Colorado Springs is mission ready, that we can still take on these projects, and that we're welcoming these projects here.
Is that what CADC is involved in a little bit too?
Yes. So CADC is the Colorado Aerospace and Defense Economic Council.
Okay.
So we actually launched that towards the end of 2025 as well. And that is growing extremely rapidly. We have Dale Anderson. He's our Senior Vice President of Defense and Economic Development.
Yes.
And former Chief of Staff to Congressman Crank and Lamburn. And he's done an excellent job bringing these businesses to Colorado Springs and allowing them to connect with one another to showcase what they do. You would be surprised at how many businesses in that aerospace and defense, cybersecurity, Department of Defense, Department of War, that don't understand what everyone does and how they can utilize each other to better their companies. And we've launched so many of these incredible companies right here in Colorado Springs, that this gives them a platform to continue to grow together.
That's brilliant. I've seen it. It's interesting because I've lived in a number of different places around the country. Colorado Springs is a hotbed of activity in space, aerospace. Is it aerospace or is it space and?
Aerospace and defense.
Aerospace and defense. I don't know if you guys know, but there's an Air Force base here. What is it called?
We have Peterson. And we have the Academy.
Okay. Where I live, when I turn off the road or whatever, it literally takes me to Space Force, and I see the entrance, but it's really cool.
Right.
I had no idea how involved this community was, and that we have such a huge retirement community.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of retired former military veterans here as well, that served on the Air Force, that are serving on the Space Force. And, we talk about Space Command leaving, Space Force is still staying. And, as they retire, they launch these companies.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so many of them that are retired military as well. So it's a great way to support our former veterans as well.
Perfect. All right. So let's talk about leadership development. And then we'll get into workforce with the new announcement from, I won't say it just yet. It's coming. Stay tuned. So let's talk leadership development. What initiatives are you guys working on right now with that?
So we took on about 3 years ago, we ran a Newmark study with some other business leaders within Colorado Springs. And what we found are some areas that we've been focusing on. One of them being that there's not enough career development within Colorado Springs for young and mid-career professionals.
Okay.
And, it's really important for the talent within Colorado Springs that we're growing these professionals right here within our region. And, we have some great leadership courses. For example, Colorado Springs Leadership Institute, phenomenal course, very good for senior leadership and C-suite leadership as well. But how do we target that middle career professional? And that's one of the areas that we're looking to bring back. So what programming can we bring for these young and rising professionals so they can, be the next leader? How do they lead without the title? How do we get them networked in the community? How do we help build their brand as they can see that Colorado Springs is a place where they will eventually be successful? And so we're taking on some initiatives there to really dive into that in 2026 and launch that.
Do you know, what is that? Do you find that this new generation, and we're calling Zillennials, Gen Z and millennials combined together, my understanding and what I've learned from reading about this particular generation and their experiences is that leadership is not one of the areas that they're very fond of because they're so disappointed in us that we've done such a poor job of showing what leadership looks like. But then we moved up through a set of corporate systems where you learned leadership along the way. That doesn't seem to really exist in the normal corporate or nuclear corporate census or behavior or whatever it is. Just doesn't seem to be there anymore, and no one stays long enough to earn their place up to the C-suite. So are you guys filling a gap here between the set of experiences and education they have, but then the lack of opportunity that they might not get because they don't stay long enough at a company?
Right. I think that's a big point of it, and that's something that we are focusing on is, intergenerations. How do we continue to work together? So, 10 years ago, everyone was upset about the millennials getting into the workforce. Now it's Gen Z. We actually had former Google exec Steve Lurch talk about this yesterday at our annual business snapshot. We need to work together. And these generations have to quit being mad at each other and focus on our weaknesses. And that's part of leadership.
Well, we can't get rid of them. It's not like we have to have a workforce, right? Exactly. It's like we can go like, well, we'll skip that generation. We'll go to the next one.
We need the boomer generation. We need Gen X. We need to get connected so that we can grow these companies together. And part of that is how do you notice those differences, work through those differences through leadership development. That's ultimately going to make you a leader. Whether you want the title or not, if you bring everyone together and you work well with your company, eventually, you're going to be sought out for those positions.
It's funny that you say that. In my workshops that I put together for leadership development, one of the focuses was you're a leader whether you like it or not.
Right.
It's like saying today you have a social media presence whether you want to or not. You have a brand whether you want to or not. The difference is, are you aware of it and are you leading by intention, or are you just accidentally stepping into roles that you didn't know you were being looked up to? And this really puts the focus on, well, let's be intentional about that activity, and then hopefully the outcome in the impact is exponential.
I think it will be. And I think we can really grow and develop this great talent crop that we have here in Colorado Springs, which will eventually make our region better.
You know what I like to call it? I did a workshop panel discussion for ServiceNow and leadership team. We're making a big announcement out of New York, and one of the things I termed in the panel discussion was the talent river, not talent pool, and that was because certain businesses train individuals from tech or blue collar jobs or whatever, and to enter the talent river at a certain point, they get plucked out and moved into jobs midway, and then eventually get put back into the stream and then picked up by C-suites or executives or leadership training programs or what have you. And if we as a community looked at it as opposed to I'm fishing in the pool but I'm not putting anything back,
right?
If we looked at it as I'm literally in a river, and this community, this environment, if you will, to make it as healthy as possible, to ensure that we have the best candidates moving through it and being successful. It sounds like that's what you guys are looking to do.
100%. And to your analogy of a river, part of that is they're going to keep going down to the river to somewhere else. We need to prevent that from happening and allow them to think that Colorado Springs is a place where they can grow and be developed, and that they can eventually get what they're looking for out of here.
Well, if we're teaching them to be ambitious, they're going to look for something. If we don't have it here, they're going to leave us like our children.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, let's talk about Innovate Pikes Peak.
Yes.
What are these initiatives that Innovate? What is this?
So Innovate Pikes Peak, people that are from here or people that have just moved here, they notice that it's different from our K through 12 education program and workforce readiness within this, specifically in the high school ages.
Okay.
Colorado Springs, El Paso County is made up of so many different districts, and these districts compete to get students in their district. A lot of people don't know this, but it's called pure pupil revenue. And each student, you get around $12,000 from the state. So districts are constantly fighting for that.
Yep.
And with 17 districts, there's a lot of places where you live and where you grew up, you might be a block away from the other district. or you might be 2 blocks away from a different one. So
Right.
it's very, very narrow. And because of that, these different districts offer different opportunities that these future students do not have access to. And we want to help eliminate that to
Okay.
an extent.
Okay.
So somebody that goes to District 11 or District 20 or District 2, they should have the same opportunities for workplace readiness and development themselves and career pathways that everyone else has. And that's what Innovate Pikes Peak is looking to do. And it's going to be private sector funded by
Mhm.
our businesses,
Mhm.
and it's going to allow these students to ultimately be bussed into this area where they can learn, careers in cybersecurity, careers in aerospace and defense, whatever it might be,
Mhm.
and what anyone wants to take on, they're going to have these skills to where they are then ready for the workforce after college, or after high school, whether they decide to go to college or not.
It's interesting that we're still talking about this. That when I'm 56. I don't know about you, but we've been talking about this very subject matter since I was a kid, about better ways of not just lowering the bar for education, but making the playing field more even and equitable for everybody to achieve. Then also finding innovative ways to get kids interested into the sciences a little bit more. It's
Right.
interesting because like when I was growing up, computers were just getting started. We never saw that the future was going to be internet. We never saw just how dependent we were going to be on
Right.
technology, how massively it was going to impact our lives. And so being forward thinking about that in terms of the innovation with our workforce development as low and as young as in our grade school K through 12s, I think it's pretty smart.
I agree. And, Jessica Warren, she's our executive director for that platform, and she has been doing an incredible job getting this going. And she's been super inclusive with these districts and giving them this opportunity. We had D38 and Monument sign on, D11 signed on. She worked with the rural school districts out in Callahan and Peyton and Ellicott and Salida, to get them over here, Simla. And it has just been absolutely incredible to see her work and her passion into this, and seeing the excitement from the business community, because they know, as these graduates come to be and they're part of this Innovate Pikes Peak, they're going to have a workforce to choose from. And it's very exciting what's happening.
It is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back from an announcement, one of our strategic partners. Okay. Next, we'll talk a little bit about Coca-Cola,
Awesome. Perfect.
and then we'll go into the 3 prompts
Perfect.
about those things.
This is
How you feeling?
Great. It's so always easy talking. This is good. Yeah.
Thanks. That's good.
Can you move the mic to the other side because you're
Yep.
actually talking away from it?
I'm talking. Yep, I know. I feel you.
I was like, wait, it's not there. Where do you move it? Crap, I can't say anything.
Yep, it fell into my belly, and so
I
I
see.
stuck it up underneath here. Sorry.
Anybody need water?
We're good. We got our little coffee cups of Gatorade here.
Freaking news group people are out there.
Right. Where's craft services?
I know. Well, there's beer in the further.
Oh,
Let me look up some talking points from Swire Coca-Cola real quick.
yeah, sure. Make sure you've got, if you got anything you wanna highlight.
Junior had to dress up as the polar bear.
As the what?
Polar bear.
Did
Did such
he
a good
really?
job. Oh yeah.
For what though? What's
It
the
was,
polar bear for what?
The announcement.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they flew out this massive polar bear costume.
Oh my
He did
god!
fantastic. He's such.
What a good team player.
Yeah, he's
You guys name the polar bear?
No,
Did
I
you
don't know
give him
what
a
they
name?
called it. Yeah, but we certainly could not call it Junior.
No.
Yeah. Huh, 620,000.
Oh, that's the Coca-Cola. Yeah. You want to pull that up for stats? You can.
Yes.
I don't mind. We're casual.
5. Okay. Perfect.
Awesome. You ready?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get a.
You want the clapper or no?
Oh, we can do it. Actually, leave it at your. I didn't mark it as far as like what's what.
Mhm.
So it's just a.
We'll notice that the second clapper is okay.
You're still rolling there. Before we tear down,
Mhm.
I want to get a behind the scenes
Yep.
photo with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're still going to live on Riverside. Do you see that on the computer?
Yep, still on.
Thank you.
Audio, video. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we're here at the Pulse on the Chamber Exchange Network with our amazing Craig Carley, the Vice President of Membership at the Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC. So when we left, we just talked about 3 specific innovative talking points that the Chamber is doing this month, which is talking about workforce development, the Amicus Brief, which is important, of course, and then Innovate Pikes Peak, which is bringing innovative impact and leveraging our youth in terms of programming and whatnot to get them workforce ready and bring them into, well, what is going to be an incredible talent river, as we've said, here in Colorado Springs. So there's a huge announcement that you want to make, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sorry. Please go ahead. We have a huge announcement we'd like to make, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead.
So a project announcement, the big win that we had at the end of 2025 was Swire Coca-Cola. So we are so excited to welcome them to our region. They're going to be bringing in 162,000 square foot manufacturing plant.
That's massive.
Massive, over 400 million in capital investment, 170 new jobs. We're very excited about it.
That's so cool. What are they? They're just going to be, what is a distribution center or a?
Yes.
Okay.
A manufacturing plant. Yes.
Awesome. Well, if you're a fan of Coca-Cola, ladies and gentlemen, it'll be right here in your backyard. All right, so let's talk about leadership and workforce confidence. How are leadership confidence and workforce pressure showing up in conversations with members today?
I think the leadership confidence and workforce pressures is showing up with members today is they want ways where they are getting a developed leadership ready workforce for their organization. And they're talking about ways that the Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC is kind of taking on that initiative. You know, what type of programming do we have? You know, we might have a seasoned entrepreneur that joins us who has employees, 50 plus employees, and they want to know what's provided for them within the Chamber and EDC, but also what's provided for their employees and how can we strengthen their employees. That seems to be a initiative that a lot of chambers are being looked into now, and something that we want to solve as we go into 2026.
Well, it occurs to me that, as late, I want to say, well, first of all, into the internet 3.0, almost where we are now, with the advent of AI and the access to start a business today, I think we have way more small businesses with fewer leaders, right? With leaders who only have like 1 to 5 or 10 employees popping up anywhere and everywhere they possibly can to sell their expertise, right? Whether that's a set of services or whether that's products. And one of the things that they might have is a great idea, or a great set of services, or a great skill set that does specific things, but leadership isn't something we're taught. I mean, you might have been lucky to have a good leader at your school. You might have been lucky to be mentored by a great leader at a company when you were younger. But for those of us who grew up in systems that stood outside Main Street Corporate Avenue or New York or whatever, we didn't get a lot of great leadership development opportunities. And now I find myself as an entrepreneur and a business owner wanting to know more about what that means. Like, I have to be a leader. I already am a leader. How can I be a better one? And then what does that mean for my staff? Like, what does that mean for my team? And I like that you guys are focused on, it's not just the leader who needs to improve, but if the leader is doing really well and leading by example, the team that they have finds improvement internally as well.
Absolutely. And that's something that we really want to take on, is this mid-career professional leadership development. And we're looking at initiatives to launch known as Lead Cause and Grow Cause. Which is going to be our leadership programs. And we would love to launch those as we get in towards the end of 2026 into 2027. We've done a lot of programming for these as well to make sure we're providing a quality leadership development course. And we have a lot of them here in Colorado Springs.
Yes.
One of the biggest ones, Colorado Springs Leadership Institute, does a fantastic job. And they focus, a lot more on senior leadership and C-suite leadership. How do we help develop that other step? How do we get them ready for that?
Yes.
And I think that's a huge miss that we have in our region right now. It's something that the Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC really wants to take on to, again, help develop the workforce that we have.
Well, I also would like to say that in terms of leadership, those of us who are what is our generation? I even remember who I am. There's millennials and Zs. What are we? Gen Y? What?
Gen X.
Gen X.
Yeah.
We were brought up under I'm gonna say sell your soul when you come through the door.
Right.
But basically, I was told and I didn't do a lot of corporate work, mind you, because I broke all the rules. But I walked through the door and they're like, leave your attitude, your personality, your feelings, your
Right.
emotions, your problems at the door. From the time you clock in to the time you clock out, we own you. And you just did that. Like you
Right,
just
right.
you went, oh, okay, I'll just wear the uniform and I do the thing and do what I'm told. This new generation just is like, let's try again.
No.
And so what's so funny is they're so bold and brazen about that's not how we work,
Right.
that we have to work differently if we're going to raise these leaders. We're going to help bring them into leadership. We have to begin looking at what leadership means today, as opposed to what we were raised with, this very structured, sort of weird, misogynistic, male-dominated leadership space, into now a whole new arena of leadership opportunities.
Right. And it's really interesting because as a leader, it's not a one size fits all
No,
approach to
yeah,
all your employees
yeah.
anymore. It's different. You need to be strategic in how you communicate with every single one of them.
And
you need to-
careful.
Exactly. Exactly. And you need to work with them where they are, and you
Yep.
need to work with their strengths and not try to change weaknesses as much, which I think has been a huge shift in leadership, and really buy into what they're good at.
Yeah,
what
not
they're
eliminate the
passionate
weakness,
about.
but tap into that.
Right. Or
Yeah.
they're going to go down the river like we were talking about earlier.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
They have plenty of places to go.
Yes, absolutely.
We just want them to stay here.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about AI curiosity. Now, you guys should know that I'm a geek about AI. I'm so passionate about it. I use it with everything that I do. And I look forward to the day when I can just replace myself with some of this. I have my AI go around and do all these things, as well as AI operated cars. People out there aren't big fans. I'm like, sign me up. I'm ready. Come pick me up at my door like a chauffeur and take me wherever I want to go. I'm so ready for that life. So talk to me about AI. What's the tone around AI right now with your members? Like, who's struggling, who's not? Who's leading the charge? Who is falling behind that we're not addressing? And then curiosity, hesitation, and of course, urgency. We're now a full year, 2025, a full year into AI's development, and that entire industry has exploded.
Oh yeah.
And it's moving at a pace that most people are feeling terrified they can't keep up with. What is the chamber doing to help with that? And then what is it that you're seeing on the street right now with members?
That's a great question. And I've connected with a lot of other chamber leadership around this. And I'm happy to say that I feel Colorado Springs is very optimistic about adoption, which I love to hear.
Yep.
And because there's a lot of other organizations where everyone's afraid of it and it's doom and gloom about AI
Mhm.
and that they're going to take our jobs and whatnot. And I think Colorado Springs is in the place where we consider AI to be, as Jonathan Liebert would say, a thought partner.
Yes.
And I absolutely love that. And I think it's because we have a lot of strong leadership within Colorado Springs who adopted AI early and brought it to our region. You being one of them. You gave a speech on AI last year with us that was incredible and talked about your adoption. We have Jonathan Liebert who's writing books about called Thought Partner, which is fantastic. His work with the BBB to launch AI, which I think is incredible with what he's doing.
The Blaze Summit, which was awesome.
The Blaze Summit was
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And Audrey Kirschner from Inkima, what she's doing with AI for these businesses, and Matt Aponte with Vox AI,
Yep.
doing incredible things right here in Colorado Springs. And I think that's what's very, very exciting about it, and what it's going to continue to grow here in the region to make everyone an early adopter, to not be afraid of it, but how can they adopt it early on? And that is only going to strengthen our business climate.
Absolutely.
And that is super exciting.
Yeah, and full disclosure, Matt Aponte at Vox AI Marketing is one of CXN's strategic partners. We're very excited to be working with Matt and his company to bring content and programming to the Chamber Exchange Network for all of our members, which you'll be seeing more announcements about this coming year as we find new ways to bring AI and innovative workforce development, as well as leadership content, programming, coaching, you name it, workshops to the platform. If you have ideas or whatever, make sure you reach out. Okay, next up is local signal for other chambers. Now, we're not the only chamber. This isn't the only chamber in Colorado Springs, let alone across the country. In fact, there are 7,500 plus chambers across the United States of America, representing more than 15 million small business owners. I remember it. Did you see that? I memorized that one. And I think it's important that we realize that, in today's market, it is global. The industries are global. The work is global. The opportunities are global. The impact can be global. And that's what CXN really wants to help bring to the table for chamber members, is a much larger global impact beyond your borders, beyond your backyard, beyond your business walls and your brick and mortar. So, what are the local signals for other chambers here in Colorado Springs that you guys are seeing? What should they be paying attention to?
I think what they should be paying attention to is the member benefit of giving your members a larger platform. And that is why I love CXN Chamber Exchange Network so much, because one of the big things that I am focused on
Mhm.
going into this year is continue to build that so we can connect with other chambers nationally.
Yes.
As you said, people are not doing business locally anymore, or that they are, but how can they expand on that?
Yeah.
And why would you not go nationally if you can for your business?
Absolutely.
So how can we connect?
Yeah.
And an online platform such as Chamber Exchange Network is the way to do that. And I see so many positive things around what we're doing with this, ways that we can partner. We talk about AI. How do we partner with AI in a region that is not an adopter? How can we have maybe it's a rural area and a rural chamber understand how we adopted AI and how they can get better adopting AI?
Absolutely.
How can we talk about the amicus brief with somebody who might be thinking about doing the same thing? There are so many ways we can partner nationally to strengthen the business community as a whole, as opposed to just locally. And there's so many things we can partner on. I think about the ability to provide online content for our members where we can talk about something such as AI or marketing or workplace development, within Texas, within California, within, New York. How can we all align and create strong conversations that we all can benefit from?
Yes.
Because we all have so much to share.
Yes. Well, and with the onset of AI and all of the innovative implications that this administration, this economy, this industry is impacting. If anybody felt it like I did in 2025, being able to partner with the chambers of commerce, with one another, with our local communities, our rural communities, and beyond, in order to create greater impact and opportunity, the number of alternative perspectives to solving a problem becomes exponential, right? And now we're no longer just me in a sandbox with my ideas and my AI repeating back to me some of the things I love to hear,
Right.
but also hearing from other individuals who can throw a different lens on or filter on or experience onto a set of problems that we might not have thought of before.
No, we talk about AI and that type of partnership even within our community. You know, we I think AI is a perfect example, and us being early adopters. You've partnered with Jonathan Lieber, you've done work with Audrey, you've done work with Matt. You know what I mean? And you're a top AI leader within this community. Everyone partnering just makes it that much stronger.
Yeah.
And I think Chamber Exchange Networks gives us the ability to do that. And
Mhm.
and I'm really excited about what's to come in 2026 there and how we can partner with other chambers and other membership organizations across the nation to really drive forward what strengthens our business community.
I was on a podcast talking about AI last year, and what I thought about the impact and what was coming to us, and why would I be so enthusiastic to jump on board and participate? And it was funny because I said, "Do you really think that the only voice you want training your AI is my opinion, my experience? No, gosh, no. We want everyone's. We want as many people in that sandbox participating and helping us shape how AI is going to impact business and how we can use it. Because if it's as wide and varied and beautiful as the human race is, we have so many great things that I think that can come from it.
Absolutely. We just need to take that next step
Yep.
forward, connect, and learn from each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I want to say, oh, is there anything you want to leave us with? Anything special you want to leave us with that we haven't discussed?
I just want to thank you for allowing me to be on this. I mean, this is such an incredible experience. I love all the work that you're doing, everything that you're doing for our community, and I'm so excited to see how this continues to grow and flourish in 2026.
I am too, friend.
Yes,
Thank you very much for
absolutely.
believing in us and being such an amazing cheerleader.
Absolutely.
It's been an incredible ride. Every month we're going to be doing the Pulse. It's both a newsletter, so you'll see an email version of that come out to you, but we're doing a live version. We'll have segments every single month where we talk about the pulse of the chamber community and give you an idea about what is going on at the street level and as well as at the highest level as possible. The more people that participate on the chamber, the more information, data, and feedback we get about what you're experiencing in your chamber, in your neck of the woods, and in your industry. So make sure you're giving us that feedback and participating as much as possible. We'd love our chamber members, and we'd love to hear from you. Again, let's thank Craig Carley, Vice President of Chamber Membership at the Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC here in Colorado Springs, joining us for the Pulse on the Chamber Exchange. Thanks, Greg.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it,
That
buddy.
was fun. That
Amazing.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Of
This was
course.
great. Awesome.
this was good.
You still rolling just a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. Let's just keep rolling. We'll get some B-roll stuff. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a
I
lot of
appreciate
fun.
you coming.
Of course.
In the future, I'd love on the monthly pulse, the segments, just something from the chamber. If you guys
Yeah.
want to submit something from your marketing department, be like,
Absolutely.
these are the 3 things we're talking about this month. These are the 3 things, and I can put it into one of the segments. And then if there's an opportunity to bring you in again, or anybody
Yeah.
or anybody else from the chamber who wants to talk about that segment, we can highlight that segment just like we did today.
I would love to do it. Just Warren would be great, as we talked about Innovate Pikes Peak.
Yep.
I think this is something that maybe John or Danny would be interested in. as
Yeah,
well, so we can-
100%.
we can talk
Well,
about
I'd love to do a chamber showcase.
Yeah.
So one of the things we have is a strategic spotlight, strategic partner spotlight. We have a member spotlight, and we have a chamber spotlight. We haven't done the chamber spotlight, and of course, Colorado Springs Chamber of Commerce is going to be our first one
it. Okay, great.
to do a full chamber spotlight. That should be you, Jonna, and who else at the table. We do a panel discussion to showcase what your chamber is doing, how they're innovating, and why they're leading the way
Mhm.
in this country in a way. Both your partnership with the EDC, which is very rare,
Mhm.
which Brandon and I are going to discuss in another episode.
Yeah.
But also working with the Chamber Exchange Network, why you see that as such a great possibility in innovation and partnership.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
This is our camera. We're getting our photo taken.
Just a tad too close.
One day we're going to have our own studio.
This is incredible.
It'll be the CXN Studios.
I love
He and I
this.
have a vision,
That's
so
what we got right there. So
Yeah.
Look at the camera.
it's so funny.
Ignore me. Look right there. 3, 2, 1. It takes a minute, so we're gonna do a couple of them.
Okay.
Only 72 megs per photo.
Oh, yeah.
My face must be
I know, I know.
huge.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Keep smiling. Nailed it.
All right. I was like, how big are my pores?
They go, yeah. This
Thanks,
was awesome,
Craig,
guys.
man. I
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much. Appreciate
Oh,
you guys.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Don't forget to take off the
Oh,
microphone there.
you go.
I'll leave mine on because I'm going to do
Cool. Nice. Well,
another
awesome,
segment.
perfect. Awesome, guys.
Thanks, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Give me a few days on that highlight.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know anything.
Probably,
you guys need.
probably early next week.
Perfect. That works. Let me know if anything you guys need from me, and
Sure. I'll get everything going.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to pick your brand and stuff. Like, I got new things in the works. Finally finished up the workshop on the writing. All that awesome. So,
yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more free starting this year, so
cool.
whatever you guys want to get together, let me know, and we'll make it happen.
Perfect. Yeah. Guys, good seeing you. Yeah, you too.
You guys.
See you later.
We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
I'll walk you down. Yeah. Professional. Hell yeah. All right, now it's all your bits.
Yep. I'm just going to do a couple of intro things for Jonathan and Brandon. If I can get clips from them, I'll insert them and gesture to the.
I love that we're doing that on green screen because we could totally make the shit
Anything
up.
we want. Yep. I love it too. I'm like, fuck this shit.
Right. It's like, just give me the sound bites.
Yeah.
I'll make it work.
I'll plug it in. I'll be like, oh, Brandon. And he's like, whole recorded. Simulive.
But if you get a script from them, you can always write the copy as the reverse side.
Yeah.
So then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I just say, here's the question I asked, answer that question.
Or yeah. It's just fun.
Well, it's a lot easier than trying to build a set and figure out where to put things. You know,
That's kinda-
from a media standpoint, it's like, okay, if I don't get that clip, and I just realized looking at the thing from Jonathan, I can literally pull a clip off some of his previous interviews from YouTube and just plug it in.
Yeah.
You know.
You have to. The only trick with that is they don't do on green.
Mm-hmm. No, I'd put him in the screen. I got TV. I put a TV screen up next to me, and I just pop him into the screen.
Oh right. Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Do it that way.
Yeah.
So it's like a remote feed.
Yes,
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right.
exactly.
I was thinking like.
We're just pretending it's a remote on the TV
I was
screen.
thinking pretending next to you
No.
live, like, can be the
Oh, I'd have to cut it. Yeah, I'd have to cut him out, and then I'd plug him in, and like, where's the layers? Yeah.
All right. Let me get this one on you. All right, we got audio, we got video. This is you solo.
This is insert number 1, and we'll do insert number 2.
So you know where the title is.
Okay.
And we got audio, video. My bad. All right. Still got the feed on here. Rolling, audio. Go.
Okay. So what's interesting about the chamber, Colorado Springs Chamber of Commerce and EDC, it's one of the first and only chambers in the United States to partner with and host the EDC, the SBDC. And I think that is a fascinating relationship. We're going to hear from Brandon Eldridge, CEO of the SBDC here in Colorado Springs. And to ground this in Main Street reality, we asked Brandon, who's closest to small business, what they're seeing on the streets. So, Brandon. And that's that. And I may make some comments about that at home.
We're still rolling.
Okay. So to follow up on AI and what's happening in that marketplace, as you may or may not know, Chamber Exchange Network is going to be bringing some additional workshops and interviews with some subject matter experts on all kinds of topics, of course. But this particular topic, AI, is one that I'm very passionate about, close to my heart and close to my business. Jonathan Liebert, who is the CEO and president of the Better Business Bureau here in Colorado Springs, started a workshop series on AI to help small business owners understand AI and how to implement it in their life and their business. And he and the SBDC as well hosted the first Blaze Summit here in Colorado Springs. It was a large AI summit, well attended, sold out. An incredible experience and opportunity, but he is at the forefront in our community of helping us understand how to utilize AI. So as curiosity is high, but confidence is certainly uneven and it's not consistent across industries, we asked Jonathan Liebert of the BBB what business owners are really asking right now. Jonathan. Okay. And then I'm going to cut back. And just so you're aware, Jonathan Liebert has a new book that's coming out, Thought Partner, which you can find on Amazon. We'll be doing an interview with Jonathan later on this month to talk about his book and to dive a little bit further and deeper into that incredible opportunity to be an author, a CEO, the head of AI initiatives here in Colorado Springs. Jonathan is a person to be paying close attention to. He's making waves, got a lot of awards this past year for some of the work that he's done. But we will be interviewing more in depth later on this month. Okay. Exactly. All right, that's the end of Chamber Exchange, The Pulse, episode 1. Here's what this adds up to as chambers who want to win in 2026. It's not those that are going to be the loudest, it's those that are going to be the clearest and the most innovative. I think partnership, collaboration, and innovation are the things that we are going to be focused on, that companies, organizations, and small business owners should be focused on throughout 2026, especially chambers who want to bring additional value to their members at a time when budgets are being slashed and cut, at a time when opportunities and value seen from the public is being shifted away from what networking event can I get my business card to what kind of content programming resources can you provide me as a business owner that can help me expand my business and succeed in my community and in my industry throughout 2026 and beyond. So Next up, we have, as I said, a deeper look into the SBDC and their partnership with the Chamber of Commerce here in Colorado Springs, and of course, Better Business Bureau's AI literacy without all of the hype, coming from Jonathan Lieber. Thanks again for joining us today on The Pulse. We look forward to seeing you next time. And cut. I do my little signature, and we're out.
Just do some like behind the desk like prep, just fun little like.
Oh, okay.
Like you just set up.
Oh, I was gonna like a piece of paper and a pen. I
Or,
can
like,
just
you're
pretend I'm.
talking here, like, well, I don't have any paper.
And I don't have
Or,
a
like,
phone.
you're talking off camera, like, hey, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Well, I've got eyes on.
Right.
We'll cut to, and the second part, what we can do is we can cut over to camera 1 over here, and then we'll move over to camera 2. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay.
So on this one.
Oh, I know what I can do is maybe I can do a side to this camera and here's what this adds up to for 2026. As chambers are aiming to win in 2026 and innovate in 2026, it's not the loudest chambers that are going to be leading the way. It's the one with the clearest message. They have an understanding about what's coming. They have an understanding about their community, what their members need, and seeing the opportunity to innovate and collaborate and create greater impact through collaboration with other chambers, chamber partners, and chamber members, I think is going to be one of the best ways we can do this moving forward. We're no longer in a small, isolated community. We're no longer separated from one another doing business. This is a global economic community. And if you want to be a part of it, join us at Chamber Exchange Network. All right, up next at the Pulse for next month, at the Pulse, we're going to see a deeper look at the Chamber and SBDC, that unique relationship bringing economic development and chamber memberships and chamber relationships together with Brandon Eldridge here at the Colorado Springs SBDC. And we're also going to be meeting with Jonathan Liebert, the CEO of the Better Business Bureau, and the AI literacy initiatives that they seem to be taking charge with here in Colorado Springs and across the country. Thanks again for joining us here at CXN on The Pulse. I'm Michael DeVue, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, now do a small version of what you just did
Mm-hmm.
to this camera.
Okay.
Think of this one as more like the prep. All right, we're about to start.
Yep.
That type of stuff.
Welcome to The Pulse. I'm Michael DeVue of the Chamber Exchange Network. This is your pulse on the community of chamber membership, chamber initiatives, and chamber business today. We discuss all of the different topics that are popping up around us as we do business in this new era of both AI, global industry, and economic development. We're in a unique situation, I think, here in the United States of America, developing business at a pace that is just so rapid. I think doing it together is going to be one of the best things that we possibly do for one another, and one of the best innovative and collaborative ways we can create impact. It's not just me behind this desk. It's not just me doing business. It's me with everybody who wants to do business better together. And the Chamber Exchange Network is definitely here for that. If you're not familiar with the Chamber Exchange Network, we are the first national platform, private national platform, community platform. We are the first national private community platform for chambers and chamber members, connecting you to do business, collaborate, and create greater impact across the country. So make sure you join. If you know someone who might be interested, have them reach out to us. You can find us at thechamberexchangenetwork.com.
That's like the perfect standalone, separate add-on.
Yeah.
The sales for the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anything else about it?
Nope. I think that's it.
All right. Good.
Good. Right on set.
So, aside from setup, it's only 10:45. We're done. So it's really not.
So if we get our shit together, technically speaking, we could have this set up within 30 to 40 minutes.
Well, once it's set up, it's set up.
And once
So
it's
now
set
you
up,
just, like,
yeah.
bring
So
them
we
in
just
like
need to
train.
roll them through. Yeah. Roll through the interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this. If we can use this space, I don't know what it's going to cost me in the future to do that, but if we can.
I know people.
Yeah.
So as long as there's nothing scheduled, I'm pretty sure I can work around.
And we don't have to do it at the same time on Thursdays. We can be flexible around the schedule. It's availability here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's other people. I think Thursdays are generally open.
Yeah.
That's why it works. But that being said, even if I do have to pay
It's not that much.
Very good.
Maybe